Hi, welcome to Mimi's Home and Garden. This is part 2 of my Costco haul, how to preserve food bought in bulk. And today I'm going to show you how to pressure can russet potatoes. Typically russet potatoes are not the best potatoes to can because they're full of starch. But I bought a 15-pound bag and I figured out a way around that by peeling and cutting these up into steak fry strips. I'm going to soak these in water in the refrigerator overnight to help remove a lot of the starch that is in this potato. So the next morning when I got ready to start the process, I drained off all that starchy liquid. I've got my stove set up with a big pot of clean water in the back to put in the jars. Here's my water bath canner sterilizing my wide mouth jars. I have a pot for lids and rings, and then the first pot on the stove there getting ready to boil is to blanch the potatoes. So I place the potato strips in the hot boiling water and set the timer for 5 minutes to blanch these potatoes, and I did this same process with the whole 15-pound bag. And I let these sit in the water for 5 minutes. It came back to a boil, and then I removed the potatoes from the boiling water, and I'm going to carry those over to the sink and rinse them carefully with cool water so that I can handle them to pack them in the jars. So this was the process I used for the whole pot of blanching and then cooling, rinsing these off, and that helped reduce some more of the starch that is in these potatoes. So I set up on another area my canning station. I have the potatoes that have been blanched. I have my big pot of water to fill the jars. I have my rings and lids sitting in hot water. I have my hot jar. All my tools that I need for canning, my canning salt, some white vinegar, and I have my pressure canner set up, and the water in that is also hot. So with this process, I'll begin to start packing the jars with the potato strips. So I take my hot jar and I start packing the potatoes into the jar, trying to get as many as I can in there. And I did this with 7-quart jars. It was a total of 9 quarts altogether, but I can only fit 7 in the pressure canner. So I packed 7 jars with potatoes, and then I added the hot water to each jar, leaving a 1-inch headspace at the top. And always use clean water. Don't use the potato water that you blanched in. You want clean, fresh water. Then I'm going to add in the 1 teaspoon of canning salt. And you need to debubble, so I have a rubber spatula that I run down the sides of the jar to help remove any air bubbles. And then the next step is to take a clean paper towel with some vinegar, white vinegar, and wipe around the rim, and then put on the jar lid and the ring. And you put that ring on fingertip tight, and then I placed it in the pressure canner. I did the same process with all 7 jars. This 15-pound bag actually made 9 quarts of potato strips. So I put that in my canner, and I follow the instructions that are in the complete book of home preserving, which I highly recommend this book. I always follow this book when I pressure can. So in it, it says to do the potatoes in quart jars for 40 minutes at 10 pounds of pressure. So I always follow these directions to make sure I'm doing it properly. If you would like to learn how to pressure can, I would suggest that you find someone that knows how to do it and you shadow them and you can learn. But above all, you should have this book in your library because it's perfect for canning. So after the process of canning is complete and the pressure is off the pressure canner, I took out the jars, and I have beautiful steak fries in jars. You can fry these by draining the water off of the jar and patting the potatoes dry and then cooking them in hot oil. Or you can place these on a baking sheet, toss them with some olive oil, salt and pepper, seasoning salt, bake them at 400 for about 15 minutes, then take them out of the oven and put on some shredded cheese or bacon bits, whatever you like on your potatoes. Put them back in the oven for about another 15 minutes. These are the best steak fries you've ever had. Serve them with some ranch dip. They are delicious. So that's just another way, if you don't have a garden, not to worry. You can go to Costco and buy your food in bulk, and you can have it all winter long. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below, and like and subscribe. Hope everyone has a blessed day.